All the culture talking to y'all. TKG, what is good with y'all, man? How are y'all doing? Video number 2 coming at y'all. Listen. I might chalk it up and say that video 2 will be the last video for the day. If I make a third video, we'll call it a bonus. It just all depends on how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what's going on around me, because I got other stuff I'm gonna do. Y'all will definitely like what other stuff is, but for sure, nonetheless, man, I enjoy making these videos for y'all. So last time we did this, we were talking about 07 and 09, and those were the two initial, kind of kickoff classes. I mentioned that 2007 was pretty bad. 2009 was sort of kind of underrated, but nonetheless, here we are talking about 10 and 11. 10 and 11. The two best XXL classes. The only class I say intervenes or enters the conversation of best XXL class that isn't 10 and 11 is 16. And it's only because 50% of that class is, still relevant today, still doing good, things or making good music. 10 and 11 have generated a lot of great artists and or legends. So without further ado, as a matter of fact, before I even get into the video, I did add more tiers. I added more tiers, and the tiers. Now, before it was graduates and dropouts. Now, clearly, I don't want to have any middle ground here. So I'm going to bring in two different tiers, and it's going to be seniors and held back. Now, the held back is the tier where those are the XXL freshmen who, aren't necessarily just garbage, but, they're probably not big, but, it's just like, if you listen to a song or two, like, I'm not gonna, I'm saying, like, the ones that are dropouts are just bad, so if I was to redo the last video, then currency would be in probably the held back or the senior section, not the dropout section. So, and then Boosie would probably be a senior, but instead of giving you guys a definition or a meaning that you might not understand, let's just kick this video off with the 2010 XXL freshman class, and then you'll see who's in each tier, and then you'll kind of understand as I, talk about them, why they're in said tier and what the tiers really mean. So without further ado, let's go ahead and critique 10. Again, TKG, I excuse any noises you may hear in the background. Loud cars, probably some flies passing by, or maybe this old guy who's outside coughing very, very loud and obnoxiously. So excuse all of that. But without further ado, let's just get right into this this class. Y'all see it, the held back tier and the senior tier. Now, what do you think the senior tier is, right? Senior tier is the artists who I would say are successes, but it's just something that's holding them back for me calling them absolute, an absolute success. It's just, when we know of you, but held back, as you see, there are no one from 2010 that's held back, but the held back artists are the ones who, got a little bit of energy to their careers and not absolute failures. They can be saved, but it's just, they're not seniors. So it's like the meh category. And what the dropouts and the grads are. So let's just get right into everybody, right? The dropouts. Fashawn and Donis. I don't even want to talk about them. Fashawn is the absolute the biggest definition of this is who you don't want to become. This is the artist who you don't want to be. It's not like he touches kids or anything or does anything bad in the world, but he's just, this guy's, his career just, I don't know how to say this without sounding like like an evil person, but his career, he doesn't have a career anymore. If he's still making money, I'm shocked to know how he does it. I go to his YouTube channel and the guy barely gets 1,000 views on a song, and it's just like he's me pretty much. Or I can barely get 500 views. Where I mean, I'm not one to talk, but I am within the same realm as, you know, success that he is in. So for Sean, Donis is in the same boat. You guys know about OJ the Juice Man. If you don't know about OJ the Juice Man on this channel, then allow me to educate you. He is the running gag on this channel. OJ the Juice Man literally had like one big song, and I put that term loosely because he didn't really even have one big song. He just, you know, had one big, you know, verse on a song. It's like, I just don't understand how it happened with him. I don't know how he got on the list. I really feel like some people pay to get on the XXL sometimes. Let's talk about J-Rock. J-Rock is a very good artist, but I just feel like J-Rock is not within the same realm that the grads are in. Look at the graduates. Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, Nipsey Hussle, Freddie Gibbs, and then J. Cole. I can't put J-Rock in that same category. We're talking about a legend in J. Cole. We're talking about a legend in Freddie Gibbs. We're talking about a great artist in Nipsey Hussle, a good artist in Big Sean, and then a very good artist in Wiz Khalifa. You know, I gotta, you know, I mean, J-Rock is good. I mean, he's gonna go in he's gonna go in the hall of very good. But I mean, you know, it's just something stopped me from putting him with the others. It's just something didn't match when it came to J-Rock. I'll give him credit because he actually is the first person from TDE to get on XXL, which would mean that J-Rock did open the doors for TDE and did, you know, kind of get people to pay more attention to TDE, which may have opened the doors for Kendrick Lamar. So, in a sense, Kendrick Lamar may have all of his success. He may have to thank J-Rock for all his success. Maybe. But we'll talk about all the individuals. Wiz Khalifa's a guy who almost was in the senior tier, and it's only because the guy's been big. The guy was big for a span of time. He doesn't really have that same energy anymore. He's not as big anymore. And I mean, it's just Wiz Khalifa. Like, he's a nice guy. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and slander his name, but Wiz Khalifa's just not, when we're talking about legends, I don't think Wiz Khalifa's a legend. I don't think Big Sean is a legend, as a matter of fact. Big Sean's another guy who I think if you were to take him out the rap game, if he were never to be here, and you were to replace him on this class with someone, you know, else, and they were on the same trajectory, this class would have the same energy to it. So Big Sean is another guy who's not a legend to me, only due to the fact that he's put out, you know, good music, but he hasn't put out anything that has, you know, defined a year or defined a generation or you know, he's made songs like Ass and stuff like that, which have become like, you know, memes and stuff like that, which those are songs I would say are, if you know, TikTok was around back in the day, they'd be even bigger than they were. Nipsey Hussle, a guy who I've already said is not a legend, but a great artist nonetheless. A guy who, you know, do I even really have to explain why some people are in the graduate section? Like, Nipsey Hussle was just good his whole career. He was good, great. He was headed towards legendary status. He sadly got taken down before that time came. I heard some people say that Nipsey Hussle was actually a 90s rapper who, you know, was influencing the gang rap, you know, gang scene and everything, that's fine. He's an influential character. He's a very highly influential character. I'm not going to go into why I don't think he's a legend once again. If you want to know that, then there's multiple videos of me telling exactly why I think, you know, or why I said what I said. Excuse my verbiage. Freddie Gibbs has been kind of a king of the underground scene for a very long time. Him and Tech-9 have kind of carried the underground scene. And, it's sad that Freddie Gibbs does not get enough credit for how good of an artist he actually is. But nonetheless, Freddie Gibbs is a successful artist. He doesn't really need, artists don't need the platinum records and the damn Grammys and everything to be successes. Sometimes all they really need is, just the pure skill. Now, you're probably shaking your head still and wondering, asking yourself, well, he doesn't have any of that, but J-Rock doesn't either. Trust me. It's all going to really make sense to you why. As a matter of fact, I'm going to state in another video why J-Rock is not that big to me. Keep your eyes open for it because, it's going to come out soon. But when we get to J. Cole, now we could just about skip J. Cole because if you don't understand why he's in the graduate section, you just don't know who I am. But, yeah. J. Cole's timeless. J. Cole's just a classic artist. J. Cole's a legend in this game. And I mean, that cannot be disputed at the moment. There are some people that don't even think J. Cole should be in the same category as a lot of other legends, but I digress. So there is the video. Or, whoa, that's not the video. There is the 2010 side of town. So now we get into 2011. Here I am trying to close out the video early and everything. Really trying to pump out video 3 for y'all. But here's 2011. Now, 2011, in my opinion, is the best class. Pure best. So me talking about it is it's probably gonna sound very biased, but I'm gonna try my best not to. Now, I know y'all may be noticing, where is Meek Mill? Meek Mill should be in the graduate section, but for some reason, this tier list would not let me add no picture of Meek Mill. I kid you not, it would not let me add a single picture for Meek Mill, and I'm just looking here like, bruh, like, did Meek Mill say something to the tier list? Like Maker, the creator, and now he's canceled or something like that. Like he just can never be added. Like he's blacklisted. But I mean, eventually I gave up and said, you know what? I'll just have to explain it to him. So do know that Meek Mill would have been in the graduate section. It would have made 4. Let's talk about the dropouts right fast. Lil Twist. What can I even say about Lil Twist that you don't already know? Literally had the best crew, was backed up by one of the best crews in the game and couldn't do anything. It's like being on a super team. You know that they have to have some guys that never get in the game, or some bench warmers that just watch everything, just watch the stars go to work, and then they come in last second and they think they're doing something. It's like, that's Lil Twist. Like he's the Brandon Rush on your team. He's the Udonis Haslem. 2020 Udonis Haslem. So, like, I don't know. It's just, the kid didn't do anything with his career. Fred the Godson, God rest his soul, a guy who had a nice sound, but just, again, didn't create any buzz, any noise around his career whatsoever, ever since his initial, push on XXL to begin with. And then Diggy Simmons, a literal son of a legend, but has fathered his own, failures. So it's just, I don't know. Those 3, I mean, they all have similar stories. They all came up with, with a sound people liked at the moment, and then it just faded away. Although I must say, Lil Twist, I don't understand. I would 100% agree with you if you told me this guy shouldn't be on the list. There's always that one guy that should not be on the list. Now we get to Sci-Hi to Prince in the held back section. I think Sci-Hi to Prince is very good skill-wise, but again, this is a guy that only gets talked about in groups, never online, but in like personal public groups. Like if I'm around my friends and I talk about, Sci-Hi or something like that, and they say, oh, he's pretty good, and that's all the credit he's ever going to get. In person, never online and never in the media, just in person. Now Lil B, very influential character. The reason I didn't put him in the dropout section is because of how big of an influence he was. A joke artist who then fathered a couple other joke artists, at the moment. Meme rapper, I guess you could say. A guy who was just known for being funny, pretty much. Known for being a jackass in the game. So, I mean, he made fun of himself. He made a big ass of himself. And, it was funny. But, I mean, for rap terms, it's just like, no, some people just really don't want to hear that. At the time, I didn't like him. But then I grew to, I grew to laugh and just get over it. And, hey, he's a little B. So, he's not a dropout. He's not a senior either by any stance. So held back is the perfect section for both of these guys because they're not successful. But then again, at the end of the day, one has a style that you can't take seriously, and the other one just has not busted open the door yet, but is talented. Yellow Wolf is in the senior section because, again, he's good. He's just like the graduates have done something extraordinarily good too. Like, I'm handing the graduates their plaques and telling them, oh yeah, you are the cream of the crop as opposed to, this class or this group. By the way, for 2010, I forgot to mention the valedictorian and the class clown. The valedictorian for 2010 is obviously J. Cole. The class clown is clearly OJ the Juice Man. The valedictorian of this class is Kendrick Lamar for obvious reasons. And of course, the class clown for this class is going to have to be most likely Lil B. Either Lil B or is going to have to be, I'd say, a Lil Twist. So let's talk about the three gods, the three greats, the three kings of XXL. I feel like I didn't even finish talking about Yellow Wolf. Yellow Wolf just is a very, very good artist, but at the end of the day, I can't call him, a graduate simply due to the fact that it's just something about listening to his music that just, I only really was listening to his music because he was a big buzz at the moment. Like, I played WB2K16. He was in that soundtrack. And that's the only reason why I really knew of him at the moment. And then, To be honest with you, Amir actually introduced me to Yellow Wolf. I didn't know who he was until I started watching Amir's videos. But I digress. Back to the three kings, the three MVPs, the three gods of XXL. Let's start with Big Crit. Big Crit has been one of my favorite artists since I discovered him, since I started listening to him back in 2013. Big Crit is I would say, the true king of the South, as opposed to, country rappers. Y'all will go on and y'all can say it's T.I., what I'm saying, king of the South. We could call T.I. the god of Southern rap. Let's say that, the MVP. This guy always got to be a 1A and 1B for me. But, I'm going to give the other crown to Big Crit. Because, I'm not going to talk about styles. Let's talk about the pure goddamn skill that comes from Big Crit. He is a very, very, very good artist. If you haven't listened to a Big Crit song, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Listen to at least one Big Crit song and you will too become a fan. And if you're not a fan, then you're going to have to tell me what it was that deterred you from him. Let's talk about Mac Miller. And yes, I'm going to leave y'all off with that for Big Crit. That's just how good he is. Mac Miller, God rest his soul. Mac Miller is a guy who, let's just be clear. He wasn't missing this spot either. And neither was Kendrick Lamar for very obvious reasons. As a matter of fact, why am I even about to tell you why Kendrick Lamar and Mac Miller are in the graduate section? If you don't know why Kendrick Lamar is in the graduate section, you must have just started listening to music in 2018. You had to have, because Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper this generation has to offer. If I was to throw Kendrick Lamar in any era and have him go toe-to-toe with all the legends from that era, if there's an artist that I have to pick, it is either Kendrick, J. Cole, or Nas. Those three guys are going, I said this generation, correct? So Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Big Crit even. You know what? That's a good conversation to have later. I might even throw Corday in that conversation. But hell, we're talking about all of these graduates, right? Why am I telling you how good anyone from 2011 was? I'll have to tell you how good the ones from 2012 and beyond are, because, I mean, some of them just barely make it in the graduate section. But listen, Kendrick, Mac, oh boy, they're legends. And Big Crit 2 is a legend. But everyone else is subjective. Clear cut. I think I'm just going to have to make a valedictorian tier, just so you guys know who's just above the rest of the class. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is definitely the list. Just look at it. I don't know what to say as opposed to the graduates. There's nothing to say. There's nothing that I can say that you already don't know, honestly. And I know that I'm coming off stuttering and sounding crazy and everything. I'm just trying to find the words. I'm trying to find out what to say about these guys. I have nothing. They're great. But you already know that. I'm assuming. So that's the video. If y'all enjoyed this, definitely go ahead and tell me in the comment section if I need to actually give a hell and try, which, it seems like I didn't at the end there. I would understand if you said that, but definitely tell me what y'all think in the comment section, and go ahead and be vocal all the time. Tell me the truth. Never sugarcoat and tell me what I want to hear. Y'all know what it is. Y'all can vibe. Y'all can have a good time. And of course, I am all the culture. I will see y'all later, man. Peace.